Hello my fellow readers, in this video I'm going to be talking about two light novels because it's going to just be a quick update. This is volume 2 for My Happy Marriage and Cross-Dressing Villainess Cecilia Silvey. And I didn't want to do a separate video on both of these because it's just a continuation of the series. So if you haven't read the first volumes of these, I would recommend more like going to see the review of the other one and not getting potential spoilers for Volume 1 through Volume 2. But first, let's check in with our My Happy Marriage protagonists. So this one is Relationship Growing Pains when Mio Saimori, the unwanted daughter of a declining noble family, is married off to cold-hearted military commander Kyoka Kudo. I always want to say that wrong. No one expects their betrothal to last. Against all odds, however, the unlikely couple finds themselves drawn to each other's kindness, and their engagement becomes official. Wanting to prove herself to her talented fiancé, Mio starts studying etiquette with the goal of making her social debut at an upcoming dinner party. When she refuses to confide in anyone about her dreams, which are becoming more terrifying by the night, though her health rapidly declines. This provides a third party the perfect opportunity to widen the rift developing between Mio and Kyoka. So this one does deal a bit more with the relationship and are they fulfilling or meeting the needs of the other one. And we do have what wants to be, I'm going to say what wants to be a member that would form a love triangle, but how these things go, you know, is not really going to be a potential interest because the two of them are pretty much just like OTP, like they'll end up together. But it is interesting, like seeing their relationship continuing to develop, having somebody else come in and be like, what's wrong with you? You're not taking care of this girl. Like, you're obviously just as bad as her parents were, well, father and stepmother, because her actual mother is dead. But it's like, you're not taking care of her, and there's a real threat to remove Mio permanently from his life and keep her hidden. And I don't want to get too much into those details, but that's essentially the plotline of this one. But then also there's a threat to the kingdom as a whole and threatens the life of Kyoka. And so then Mio has to make a decision to help Kyoka, or, you know, is this the end of them? And I really like them. This definitely further developed their relationship and themselves as characters. And of course, we're starting to see Mio have her powers develop, because you knew from book 1 that, you know, she was obviously going to end up having powers and abilities of some kind that have gone overlooked for whichever reason. You discover more about that in volume 2, and it's very, very nice. I do have volume 3 of My Happy Marriage, so I'll probably be reading that at some point along the year, and then I don't know how much further the story is going to continue. Like, I don't know how long this series is planned for, but so far I'm still enjoying it. They are very quick reads, short volumes, you know, under 200 pages, so very easy to get through. But yeah, it was nice visiting these two again, and I would recommend continuing the series if you have started it, or if you haven't, and hopefully I didn't spoil anything major, go back and read volume 1 and then continue on to volume 2, because it's really good. And these are all like stories that are after my shoujo heart, and I'm so grateful that there are light novels for those of us who like shoujo and don't like the traditional like isekai harem male protagonist driven ones, because sometimes you just get kind of sick of that. I'm sorry. Like, they're okay, and for fans of them, good for you. I don't want them to go away. It's just, it's nice to have an alternative as well. So volume 2 of Cross-Dressing Villainess Cecilia Silvey, which is one of my favorites as well, because this is so funny. It definitely continued with the wild escapades, and it says on the back, still attending school as her male alter ego Cecil, I'm never sure. Reincarnated villainess Cecilia Silvey dedicates herself to averting a brutal fate with the help of her brother Gilbert. For a moment, it seems like her everyday life is under control until an enigmatic murderer known as the Killer, it's a great name for her, starts targeting people close to her. As if that weren't bad enough, it seems Prince Oscar has clued into the fact that Cecil is actually his fiancée in disguise. No matter where she turns, all routes lead to death. I'm a little bit mad that that spoiled that there. I didn't read the back when I jumped into this volume, and I'm glad that I didn't. Because I would have spoiled a major like twist in here that I was excited to finally see, but I guess I just spoiled it now for everybody else. Yeah, so the truths are being revealed in this one, but I can't remember if she knows. Like, so he makes that connection, and then it like all makes sense to him, but like she didn't tell. No, he didn't tell her that he knew who she. Anyway. It just adds to the twists and turns, and it's really fun. The main premise of this is that there was a terrible fire, and who is now Cecilia died in that fire and was reincarnated into this game world that she used to play, and she's of course reincarnated as the villainous character, but she isn't really the villainous. I mean, she was, but like, I don't know. I don't think it was. She was competition for the main character girl. Turns out that the main character girl is also reincarnated and was her best friend. So now they're not enemies in this world because it's her former best friend and they know who each other is. And so they more like work together to try to change their fates. But it's interesting because I feel like the best friend only played certain routes in the game, so she only knows how certain things turn out, and then I feel like she also didn't play that much. Like, it was much more her friends, if I'm remembering correctly. Anyway, so there are some things that they're not aware of and don't know what's going to happen because they didn't play those routes. And it turns out that there was, and they both died in that same fire. They were at the movies together, and then there was a tragic fire. And it turns out that there's another candidate. I'm trying to remember what the role is that the women have, but anyway, there's another candidate, and she's been unconscious for quite a while, and we do find like who the villain and everything is, but it turns out that she was also a victim of the fire, and she was an obsessed fangirl with the voice actor for one of the characters, and it's so wild and twisty and funny. I don't know. I sometimes just think, like, as an otome game player, like, I can definitely see the fun in imagining a world where suddenly you're reincarnated into that world. And this plays it off so fun because those whole, the hidden identity trope is just fun. And I enjoy it quite a bit. I'd finished another one that also has a hidden identity trope in it, and I'm loving that one too. It's a little different than how Cecilia Sylvie handles it, but it's also very fun. And yeah, I'll continue reading this series too because I really like it, and I love the love triangle between Oscar and Cecilia and Gilbert. Because yes, even though Gilbert is her brother, it's not really her brother. He was adopted into her family because they needed a male heir, which I think is ridiculous, but it's good for Gilbert as well because his family, I think, has too many sons or something. Anyway, he wouldn't have really gotten anything, so they took him in, and his brother actually plays a part in this one, so you get to meet Gilbert's actual brother, and I don't know, they're something else. They're different characters. But yeah, I would recommend, if you have started cross-dressing Villainess Cecilia Sylvie, to continue on to volume 2 because it continues that wacky journey. Or if you haven't tried this series, give it a try because it's funny, it's zany, it's like a break from the stress. And then there are like pretty good narrative plot points that you can enjoy following along with too. And yeah, I'm just having a good time with that one. So that's my update on Volume 2s for A Happy Marriage and Cross-Dressing Villainess Cecilia Sylvie, which that title's so long. I mean, there's longer titles, but there you go. I'm continuing because they're good. That's it for this video. Until next time. Bye.